Hello, everyone. Today we are going to discuss Lord Alfred Tennyson's poem Ring Out Wild Bells. In my last video, I read out the text of the poem to you, and in this poem, I'm going to discuss with you the central idea of this poem. So let's first talk about some terms and some phrases and words which have been used by Tennyson. Wild bells. What does it mean? It means bells ringing violently at midnight on December 31 to welcome the new year. Wild sky means rough wintry sky. Flying here means floating in the sky driven by the wind. Frosty light. The light of the stars penetrating through the frost and appearing more bright. Frost is related to ice. Ring out the old here means bid farewell to the old year with your ringing sounds. Happy bells, the bells are not happy. It means they announce the arrival of a more prosperous year. Ring out the falls. It means the poet hopes that with the death of the old year, the false will die and the true will come in. Saps the mind. This phrase means undermines the energy of the mind. Undermining the energy of the mind. Then in next stanza, that here we see no more. This means those who are dead and gone, means the people who are dead and gone. Feud of rich and poor, it means struggle between capital and labor. Quarrels due to class distinction or inequality, means the class struggle, the struggle between rich and poor. Redress to all mankind, it means justice for all. The poet talks about dispensing justice to all people. Slowly dying cause, it means principles and ideals that are outworn. The slow death of the cause indicates that it has grown old and hence useless. It is better that it should die out and give place to an ideal which will be of greater help to mankind. Party strife, struggle of political parties, and in England it is too well known that for a very long time there have been two major political parties, the Whigs and the Tories. Sweeter manners, nobler rules of etiquette, means how to behave in a proper manner, like a gentleman. The want here means poverty. Faithless coldness means indifference in spiritual matters. The fuller minstrel, a more perfect poet. The singer, full of hope and joy. The one who sings about hope, who sings about joy. Blood here means noble birth. One who is born in a high family, in a royal family, in a noble family, in a good family. False pride in place and blood. It means pride of office and pride of birth. Civic slander. Civic slander means scandal mongering. Means trying to create nuisance, trying to create irrelevant gossip, abusing people. Spite here means ill will, malice, bearing grudge against somebody. Common love of good, it means a common desire to do noble deeds. Old shapes of foul disease, it means forms of sickness which have been long prevalent. Narrowing lust of gold, it means wealth which makes men narrow minded and selfish. Wealth narrows the heart and is of destructive of nobility and generosity of feelings, of old coming from ancient times. From a very old time, it means the 1,000 years of peace. It means the millennium or the 1,000 years of peace promised in the Bible. It is an allusion to Bible. So, the source of this beautiful poem is In Memoriam, Lord Alfred Tennyson's elegy written in memory of his dear friend. And it forms part 4 of In Memoriam. It is the third Christmas after the death of the poet's intimate friend, Arthur Hallam. The poet turns away from the past and its grief, which saps the mind, and looks to the future and his hopes for mankind. According to custom in Christian countries, on the night of December 31st, church bells are set ringing till midnight. When they stop for some time to indicate the departure of the old year and the arrival of the new one, then they again resume ringing and continue the whole night. The poet wishes that just as the old year passes by and rejoicings take place as the new year comes in, so should all that is weak, degrading, the discordant, the pressed out of the lives of nations to be replaced by all that is strong, ennobling, and peace giving. The bells tolling out of the old year and tolling in the new year are welcome. Let them peal out with all their might and tell of the good time coming, out with the evil old and in with the better and happier, because the more really Christian new. So, in this poem is a social document. It talks about the plight of society, the plight of English society of Tennyson's time. This brief lyric in itself is an important social document and refers to many of contemporary social ills which the poet wants to be wrung out with the old year. Tennyson wrote at a time when Britain's sole god was the millionaire and the society had been degraded by the worship of Mammon. Mammon was a Greek god who represented gold and riches. So it means it was a time of doubt and restlessness. The old order was passing away and men's minds were troubled. Faithless cold of the time, which is what means men were losing faith in religion as a result of scientific development. As we all know, at that time, in 1859, Darwin came out with a book, Origin of Species, which shook the faith of the people of England. Earlier, they used to think that man was God's creation, but Darwin wrote in his book that man was not God's creation, but man was a result of a long, extended evolution, and man's ancestors were not men but monkeys. So, and science was also doing wonders at that time.